Hi everyone, welcome back to Gato Helps. Today I'm going to show you how to bring those cloudy yellowed headlights back to life. We'll go through the step-by-step process of sanding your headlights, get them looking clear and new again. I'll cover the tools you'll need, the sanding technique and tips to avoid common mistakes. Let's dive in and get those headlights shining like they just rolled out of the lot. As you can see, these headlights are very yellowed and I should have done this a long time ago. So there are also micro cracks on the plastic. The idea is to restore them to the best possible state at this point, because they will never be new because of these small micro cracks. For this, I got a 3M kit that's composed of some sandpaper, some pads, and some wet tissue that will restore your headlights to what they look like when they were brand new. Here you can see everything that comes on the kit. So two pouches with this wet wipe that you apply at the end, instructions manual, a glove, an adapter for your screwdriver where you can put different sand pads. So it's just a Velcro on sand pads, and then different types of sand pads. So you have Grit 500, there's also Grit 800, let's just try, and then that's 500, Grit 800, and Grit 3000 for the end finish. This is for the wet sanding at the end before applying the wet finish. You can also find some masking tape to protect the paint of your car, and that's it. Let's start working. So the first step is to clean your headlights with some soapy water. I did that off camera. And then here the next step would be to apply the masking tape. So when you sand, you do not sand your paint on your car. Apply this masking tape to all around the headlight. And usually I recommend you to do it a bit thicker. So just not only one strip of this thin tape. It could be a bit more than that to make sure that you don't then sand the paint on the car. So the first step is starting with the Grit 500. Sand all the headlight. It will be very milky, and but you start seeing a yellow dust coming out. That yellow dust is what you actually need to remove. As soon as you start to have white dust, it means that you are already removing a little bit more than you should, so you then can stop and go to the next level, to the next grit of sandpaper. About the sanding process, just go on straight lines. I think that's the best way to go, and do not keep sanding on the same place. Do not overheat the plastic. When your sandpaper looks that it's not doing anything, just replace it with a new one. Continue on the same grit until you remove all the yellow dust from your headlight. Make sure that you go on all the creases and edges, as sometimes it's not easy to get on some parts. So here the dust is already white, so we'll just continue to sand the remaining headlight, and then switch to the Grit 800 to continue the process. When you think everything is sanded, just give it a good clean and inspect the result. So it should be all the same color, but as you can see, maybe you can see here on this edge, it's slightly a little bit shiny. So it means that it was not sanded properly there. So I need to apply a bit more to sand it a little bit more on that edge, and to make sure that everything gets frosty before going to the next grit. Now let's go to the Grit 800, and again, same process. Make sure that you go through all the headlight to now reduce the scratches that you just applied when using the grit 5 with the grit 500. Again, you'll have some white dust on it, and it becomes much softer now after the grit 500. Because the kit comes only with one wet sand, and I don't want to get the adapter wet, so I will do the same process on the left-hand side headlight, and then at the end I will do the wet sanding on both headlights. At this point, the left side headlights also sanded with the grit 800 and 500 and 800, and now we'll start with the wet sand with the grit 3000. So for these, I have this water on a spray bottle, and I'll just start wet sanding it. As you can see, you can clearly see a difference, and especially when it's wet, it looks like it's getting much better. And so you'll just need to continue sanding and sanding and sanding until you get a very, very smooth surface. When it's dry, it's still frosty, but that's okay for these kits. So basically, you continue sanding until you get a softer and smooth surface, and all the deep scratches from the grit 800 are removed. Okay, now everything is sanded with the grit 3000, and the next step is to remove the tape, clean it with just water. We don't want to have now any soapy water here, because you don't want to have some residue left. So just clean it with water and let it dry to then apply the wet wipes, the coating, the final coating to the headlights. Now that everything is clean and dry, we can start with the next process. We have these two pouches. The idea is to have use one, let it cure, then use the next one from the next pouch to do a second coat, a second layer. So to do this, we need to apply it on straight lines. That's what it says in the manual. Start from one side to the other. Try not to touch the paint, and overlap with the 20 to 50% from one pass to the other. So let's start the process. So they say to do not unfold this tissue, to use it exactly like it is when it comes out of the pouch. And I'm not fast forwarding here, so you can see the process. You can see basically it becomes wet and clear, so it just feels all the tiny scratches from the grit 3000, and then it will dry and get hard. So basically this is some kind of epoxy that protects UV. So make sure that you apply to the entire headlight. Do not squeeze, do not scrub. So basically one side to the other, continuous lines, and make sure that the entire surface is covered. If you see some bubbles sometimes happens, just pass it again. And that's it. So one coat applied. Now we need to let it dry and apply a second coating later. So now applying the second coating. Again, second coating applying them the same way, let it dry for another 15 to 20 minutes, and you have a restored headlight. As I said at the beginning of the video, these headlights are very cracked by the sun, so there are micro cracks, and this is not possible to remove. You can see here from this photo, it looks like actual cracks. They are actual cracks, but this is because I didn't protect them before. So before you have these micro cracks, you should apply some UV coating to your headlights to prevent from this to happen. So that's it for the front headlights. I will apply to the right hand side, and this is how they are before and after. The video is not finished yet, so because I have the wet wipes still wet and I wanted to make something different, I thought why not to protect the back tail lights. So these are not yellow because the way that I parked the car, these don't get direct sunlight most of the time, and they're not as exposed as the front headlights. The idea here is to just clean them properly. I'll use some polish that I have that I got from supermarket that says headlight polish. Just some soft polish that's applied with microfiber towel to remove some debris that may exist on the clear on the lens, and then apply the coating again, as I did on the front headlights. The idea is that these then get UV protected, and I think it's a way to go. If you are doing the front headlights, also do the back tail lights, and they will last longer for sure. I ended up also applying this protective epoxy, this protective coating to this black trim on the car. It was very faded. I also applied some, I also polished it a little bit, applied this, and it became piano black, shiny. So it's, yeah, so again, protecting plastic either on headlights, tail lights, or any shiny plastic that you have on your car, I think this is a good option. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and final thoughts about this product. I think the wet wipes, if they do what they say, if they protect against UV, that's a plus. If you need to sand them, I would recommend you to go to a finer grit, or even maybe just a bit more on the 3000 grit, because the front headlights still have some small scuffs from sanding. And maybe it's me that I don't know how to sand. So it's a good product if these wet wipes protect against the UV lighting, and it comes with all the sandpaper, sand pads that you need. Just a matter of if you can do it. I probably not the best sander in the world, and that's probably my fault. But they're much better than before. I should have done this before the headlights started to become brittle and with a lot of micro cracks, but that's life. Thank you for watching, and subscribe on the button below, and see you next time.